Saki mbwembwana kwele mchele kwa kuku kumwaga. Sako na wapenda haya tusema nitasikia.
Hello, my name is Nathalie Boadi, and I am from Los Angeles, California. I am a second-year student at Northwestern University. In fact, I just completed my first year last week, and I am proud to say that I am officially a sophomore. I am on the PreMed track, and so that means I'm interested in medicine and research and just using all of that information and the practical applications that I learned along the way to then apply to medical school and continue on with that path. So as I just mentioned, I am on the pre-med track. And any STEM field is no walk in the park. To persevere and continue on this path, you have to have that intrinsic motivation that keeps you going. Motivation that just makes you want to see the finish line despite the difficult circumstances. And I was able to gain that intrinsic motivation after participating in an 8-week research program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Don't get me wrong, from a young age, I knew that I wanted to do something within the medical field, but being able to delve into that research aspect during high school really opened many doors for me in terms of knowing why I want to be in medicine. Like, I had a true reason behind it. And not only that, it made me want to also continue research at Northwestern, which I'll get into later. But during high school, I participated in a 8-week research program at Children's Hospital Los Angeles, in which I was able to conduct diabetes research. And I was particularly interested in diabetes research because here in the United States, the African American community is largely disproportionately affected by diabetes. And so that right there was my intrinsic motivation. And for me, I also wanted to kind of help create or engineer some type of cellular replacement therapy for diabetic patients, such that their pancreas, which fails to produce insulin, can not only produce insulin, but I also wanted the body to accept that insulin that their body produced. But we had a bit of a stumbling block along the way. And what happened was we had this ATO1 gene, right? And the problem with the ATO1 gene was that it repressed gene expression. And so we were trying to kind of work our way around that. Like, how do we help these diabetic patients not only produce insulin, but ensure that their body accepts the insulin and that it helps reduce their blood glucose levels? So it was a very complex project. And although I was not able to figure it out in 8 weeks, I made lots of progress by performing multiple PCRs, also known as polymerase chain reactions. I was able to, figure out which strand of DNA amplified the gene at a specific temperature. I was able to then run that gel electrophoresis to then highlight those findings and confirm my predictions. And I was also able to present my research in front of medical doctors and scientists. So it was just like a huge growth for me throughout my high school career. And just going into college with some research background and being able to kind of work my way around the lab, I also participated in this program at Northwestern that allows students who are interested in research to receive mentorship to apply to work in a lab by receiving an undergraduate research grant. And so I was supposed to receive an undergraduate research grant to conduct my research throughout the summer on the Northwestern campus. But, unfortunately, due to the coronavirus, my summer plans, didn't go according to plan. And so now I am focusing on taking summer classes so I can kind of get a little bit ahead of my sophomore year, just to knock out some classes so that I can focus more on my biology and organic chemistry classes. And but I will tell you what I was supposed to do during those, I believe it was 10 weeks of research. So what I was supposed to do was kind of continuing my research, but it was with a twist. So instead of focusing strictly on diabetes, I focused on vaccination. Yes, and that was to help create freeze-dried vaccinations that can withstand the different temperatures during the duration of travel. So we know we have vaccines, right? Vaccines that can help, eliminate or reduce someone's exposure to a disease, right? But the problem with vaccines is that as they are being transported to different countries, especially hot countries, they tend to like denature, and they're just not as effective as they would have been had they come like straight out the lab, right? So with freeze-dried vaccines, our goal was to be able to help transport these vaccines such that once they are received at their final destination, they'll be able to work perfectly or almost like perfectly once they are rehydrated with water. And so for me, this was a very important project because, my family's from Ghana. I'm from Ghana. Like, I was born in the US, but, I'm still like Ghanaian. And like transporting vaccines back to Ghana will be such a huge, like a huge win but the problem is though, vaccines that are traveling to hot countries such as Ghana, once they're in a storage unit that is being shipped out to those countries, the temperature within the unit is much, much hotter than that of the atmosphere, right? So my goal was to run polymerase chain reactions at different temperatures, then run gel electrophoresis such that I'll be able to kind of target the vaccine and see like, oh, at what point does the vaccine continue, like, is like at a standstill? Like, when doesn't it work? And at what temperature does it work best? And what additives can I use or like add in, or remove such that the vaccine can work at its like ideal efficacy after freeze drying it. And it was going to be a long, hard project that I was definitely willing to take on. But as I mentioned, just unfortunately due to the pandemic, my plans are at a standstill. But I'm still, looking at ways to work from home to see how I can help, continue on with this project. And I'm also looking at ways in which I can hopefully kind of resume that project during the upcoming academic year. So I know that I mentioned a lot about, STEM, pre-med research, and just things of that sort, but I also wanted to let you guys know that just because you're studying something in the STEM field, it doesn't necessarily mean that you only have to do STEM all day. Like, I have other hobbies. I love to dance. I love to read. I love to watch videos. I love to, of course, be on social media, but not too much because I got to get my work done. And just things of that sort. And I always encourage my friends who are, not necessarily my friends who are in the STEM field, just like all my friends that I've met at Northwestern, like, you can't be stuck in a room all day just, reading a book, so many people have, now that we're at home, have family responsibilities and things of that sort. But when you're on campus, I feel like it's a great way to kind of delve into those interests and find things you never really knew you would have liked until you try it, right? And for me, I just love participating in, the Afro Thunder dance team, which is a group dedicated to African dance. I love to volunteer. I'm in this group called Peer Health Exchange, in which we go to different Chicago public high schools such that we inform them about their health resources and just knowing their health rights. Because if you think about it, if you're in a hospital and you don't know your rights, how do you know if you're getting treated correctly, and how can you advocate for yourself? So we try to teach them about those things. And, while you're like pursuing all your passions, it's just important that you find that nice balance, right? So in school, as we're studying, it's important to make sure that studying is fun too. Like, you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself, because in general, STEM is pretty difficult. And I'd highly recommend going to, your teacher's office hours, studying with your friends, seeking resources on YouTube. For me, a class that helped me a lot throughout my general chemistry sequence was the organic chemistry tutor. He has great videos on general chemistry, on calculus, on organic chemistry, like, which are mainly like the three most difficult courses that people have a hard time completing. And just having that second voice to kind of reiterate what I learned and to help me with my thought process, it's really been very beneficial to me throughout my first year at Northwestern alone. So I plan on to continue using that resource. And I hope that you guys all find that resource very, very helpful. I'd highly recommend it. I know I said a lot about myself, but I'm just so glad that you guys have been able to sit down and watch me and listen to me speak on my experience. And I hope that you found some of this information useful or somewhat motivating. And I just want to thank Unite for this incredible, incredible opportunity. Thank you all, and bye. Have a great day.
Nanipaga moyo nikianza kulia chozi nafutia.